Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever had a gut feeling that turned out to be right? Or solved a problem in your dreams? That's not magic. That's your subconscious mind at work. Today I want to talk about how to activate your subconscious mind so you can unlock your potential, sharpen your instincts, and transform your life. Let's start with one truth. Your subconscious mind controls 95% of your behavior. It stores your memories, beliefs, habits, and emotional reactions. But here's the exciting part. It listens to you. And if you learn how to speak its language, it will respond. The first and most important step in activating your subconscious mind fast is gaining absolute clarity about what you truly want. Without clear direction, your subconscious has no target to aim for, no outcome to manifest, and no framework to follow. Think of your subconscious mind as an incredibly powerful GPS system. It can guide you, protect you, and even pull you toward opportunities, but only if it knows exactly where you want to go. Just as a GPS can't provide directions without a destination, your subconscious cannot bring your desires to life unless you define them with precision. Clarity is the foundation of all mental programming. Vague goals yield vague results. When people say things like, I want to be happy, I want more money, or I want to be successful, they're not wrong. They're just not being specific enough. These general desires are too fuzzy for the subconscious mind to take seriously. It doesn't respond to wishy-washy commands. Instead, it works best with concrete, specific, and emotionally charged intentions. If you say, I want more money, and you find $1 on the ground, technically the subconscious has done its job, but that probably wasn't what you meant. This is why you need to define your goal in vivid detail, what you want, why you want it, and what achieving it would feel like. Getting clear also means stripping away what you don't want. Many people are more focused on avoiding failure or escaping discomfort than they are on pursuing a specific vision. This mindset sends mixed messages to the subconscious. If you're always thinking about what you're trying to avoid, debt, stress, loneliness, rejection, you're still feeding those thoughts to your subconscious mind. And because the subconscious doesn't distinguish between positive or negative, only what is consistently fed to it, it will reinforce those experiences. That's why it's critical to stop fixating on your fears and start directing your attention to your desired outcome. The shift from a fear-based to a purpose-driven mindset is what opens the door to subconscious activation. Clarity also brings emotional power. When you define your goals clearly, you naturally become more emotionally invested in them. Emotion is fuel for the subconscious. The stronger the emotion attached to a vision, the more easily and quickly it gets imprinted onto your subconscious programming. For instance, if your goal is to start your own business, don't just think about the money you'll earn. Think about how that success will feel. Freedom, pride, joy, security. Imagine waking up every morning knowing you're doing work you love, with the ability to spend time how you choose, providing for your family and inspiring others. The more detailed and emotionally rich the picture, the more magnetically your subconscious pulls you toward it. Another crucial element of clarity is belief. You have to believe that what you want is possible, or at least be open to the idea. If you set a goal that you internally doubt or secretly believe is unrealistic, you're working against yourself. The subconscious cannot support a vision that your conscious mind is rejecting. Doubt cancels out intention. So as you clarify what you want, ensure you choose goals that resonate with you on a deeper level. Goals that feel exciting and aligned. Even if they also scare you a little, that's a good sign. It means you're stretching. Journaling is one of the fastest and most effective ways to gain clarity. Take time to sit with your thoughts and write down exactly what you want. Ask yourself, what does my ideal life look like? What do I want in terms of career, relationships, health, finances, personal growth, and contribution to the world? What am I passionate about? What am I afraid to admit I truly want? These questions help strip away the surface level desires and reveal what matters most to you. Don't rush the process. Sit with the discomfort. Push past the noise of social expectations or fear of judgment. The goal is to uncover your deepest, most authentic desires. Those are the ones with the power to move your subconscious. Once you've written your vision, refine it. Sharpen the language. Be precise. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, say, I want to weigh 150 pounds and feel energized, fit, and confident in my body. Instead of, I want to find love, say, I want to be in a passionate, committed relationship with someone who shares my values, inspires me, and makes me feel deeply loved. Every detail you add helps your subconscious form a mental blueprint that it can work toward. This blueprint then guides your decisions, influences your perception of opportunities, and even triggers moments of insight or intuition that can lead to breakthroughs. After defining your goal, repetition becomes key. Revisit your vision daily. Read it, say it aloud, visualize it, and connect with the emotions behind it. This keeps your subconscious engaged. It creates a pattern, something the subconscious thrives on. You're essentially building a neural pathway around your desire, strengthening it until it becomes part of your identity. When that happens, the goal no longer feels like something out there. It becomes part of who you are. And your actions begin to naturally align with making it real. Remember, clarity doesn't mean knowing every step of the journey. You don't need to have the full map laid out. You just need to know the destination clearly. Your subconscious mind, when activated, will help you figure out the rest. It will prompt new ideas, attract the right people, and highlight the next steps. That's the beauty of it. The how reveals itself once the what and the why are solid. Finally, understand that clarity is not a one-time exercise. It's a daily practice. As you grow, your goals may evolve, your desires may shift. That's okay. What matters is staying connected to your current truth and continually refining it. Make space in your life to reflect, to ask questions, and to realign when needed. The more honest and clear you are with yourself, the more powerful your subconscious mind becomes. To activate your subconscious mind fast, you must begin with the power of clarity. Without it, your mind will wander. With it, you create momentum. You set a direction. You give your inner mind a mission. And once that mission is clear, your subconscious will move mountains to help you achieve it. The subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it repeatedly, it begins to grow, whether you intend it or not. That's why mental programming through affirmations and repetition is such a powerful way to activate your subconscious mind quickly. The key is understanding that your subconscious does not think in logic or reason. It works through patterns, emotion, and consistency. It absorbs what it is exposed to most often, and it doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. In other words, what you keep repeating becomes your internal truth, and eventually your external reality begins to mirror that internal world. Affirmations are simple, powerful statements that declare something to be true. They might sound like, I am confident, I am wealthy, or I attract opportunities effortlessly. To some people, affirmations may seem silly or artificial at first, especially if you don't believe the words you're saying, but that's exactly why you need them, because your subconscious mind has already been programmed with different beliefs, and affirmations act as a tool to overwrite those beliefs with new, empowering ones. The goal is not to pretend your challenges don't exist. The goal is to shift the dominant narrative inside your mind so that it works for you, not against you. Repetition is the engine behind mental programming. One-time statements won't do much. It's the consistent, repeated exposure to a thought that causes the subconscious to accept it as a belief. Think of how you learned your name, your native language, or how to ride a bike. It was all repetition. The subconscious learns by doing, hearing, and experiencing something again and again until it becomes automatic. That's what you're doing when you use affirmations. You're creating a new internal autopilot system. Over time, the statements you repeat sink beneath your conscious awareness and begin to influence your emotions, decisions, and actions without you even noticing. One of the most effective ways to use affirmations is to speak them out loud daily. Ideally in the morning, right after waking up, and at night just before going to sleep. These are times when your brain is in a more relaxed state, similar to a meditative state, where the subconscious is more receptive. This is known as the theta brainwave state, and it's like a backdoor to your inner programming. When you repeat affirmations during these windows, they bypass some of the critical filters of your conscious mind and go straight into the subconscious. With enough repetition, your subconscious begins to accept them as reality. The way you phrase your affirmations is just as important as the repetition itself. They must be stated in the present tense, as if the result is already true. Avoid future-based language like I will be successful or I will be confident, because your subconscious takes everything literally. If you keep saying you will be something, your subconscious holds that experience out in the future. It never brings it into the now. Instead, say, I am successful or I am confident, even if you don't feel that way yet. Over time, your inner dialogue will catch up to your new self-concept. Another vital aspect is emotional involvement. Words alone are not enough. You must feel the emotion behind the affirmation. The subconscious responds strongly to emotion because emotion creates intensity and memorability. When you say, I am abundant, let yourself feel what abundance actually means to you. Imagine the excitement of financial freedom, the pride of achieving your goals, the joy of helping others with your success. That emotional charge makes the affirmation stick. Without emotion, repetition becomes robotic. With emotion, repetition becomes transformation. Consistency matters, but so does intentionality. You don't need to repeat hundreds of affirmations. It's better to choose a few that truly resonate with your current goals and emotional needs and focus on those with intensity and purpose. For example, if you're struggling with self-worth, repeating, I am loved, I am enough, and I deserve happiness every day with deep emotional connection will recondition your subconscious far more effectively than cycling through a long list of generic statements. Writing your affirmations by hand is another way to enhance their power. The act of writing engages more of your senses and strengthens the neural pathways related to the message. You can keep a journal where you write your top affirmations daily. Some people like to write each one 10 times to reinforce the imprint. Others combine writing with visualization, picturing themselves living out the reality they're affirming as they write it. And some which come to mind far more powerfully than most labels are, and this will increase your memory. These layers of involvement accelerate the subconscious programming process. One subtle but crucial part of mental programming is guarding what you expose your mind to throughout the day. Repetition isn't just what you say to yourself, it's also what you see, hear, and read regularly. If you are constantly consuming negative news, toxic conversations, or content that reinforces limitation and fear, that too is programming your subconscious, just in the wrong direction. You can't expect your mind to adopt positive beliefs if you're feeding it negativity. So be intentional about your environment. Listen to empowering podcasts, watch content that inspires you, surround yourself with people who uplift you, read books that challenge and expand your thinking. These repeated inputs shape your internal beliefs without you even realizing it. Another method to deepen mental programming is to use recorded affirmations while you sleep. Since the subconscious mind is always active, it continues to absorb input even during sleep. Playing a loop of affirmations that match your goals can be a passive yet powerful way to reinforce your desired beliefs. Over time, those words become part of your mental environment, just like background music that you start humming without realizing you heard it. It's also important to note that affirmations are not about lying to yourself. They are about aligning your thoughts with the version of yourself you're becoming. When you affirm, you're not ignoring reality. You're intentionally creating a new one. You're choosing to focus on what you want to grow rather than what you want to escape. This shift in mental focus allows your subconscious to start filtering your experiences differently. You begin to notice opportunities you previously overlooked. You start taking actions you previously avoided. You begin to expect good things, which makes you more open to receiving them. That's not magic. It's mental reprogramming in action. Ultimately, the power of affirmations and repetition lies in their ability to shift your identity. And identity is the root of all long-term behavior. When you consistently affirm that you are confident, successful, healthy, or capable, you are slowly building a new version of yourself from the inside out. And once your subconscious accepts that identity, your external reality begins to change to reflect it. That's how you activate the subconscious mind, through deliberate, repetitive, and emotionally charged mental programming that aligns with who you truly want to become. And if you watch people who become, visualization is one of the most powerful and immediate ways to influence your subconscious mind. It taps into the part of your brain that does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you visualize an experience with clarity, emotion, and repetition, your subconscious begins to accept that vision as reality. This is why so many high performers across sports, business, and the arts swear by visualization as a daily practice. It primes the mind for success and conditions the nervous system to feel comfortable in situations that would otherwise be unfamiliar or intimidating. The key to effective visualization is not just to see images in your mind, but to feel them as if they are happening right now. The emotional experience is what gives visualization its power. It's not enough to casually imagine yourself standing on a stage giving a talk or walking into your dream home. You need to feel the heat of the lights on your face, hear the applause of the crowd, sense the adrenaline in your body, smell the fresh paint of your new home, and taste the satisfaction of success. The more senses you involve, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. And when the subconscious believes something is real, it begins to rewire your brain, influence your behavior, and attract matching circumstances into your life. The science behind this is compelling. Brain imaging studies have shown that visualizing an activity activates the same neural pathways as actually doing the activity. That means when you visualize confidently delivering a speech or mastering a skill, you are literally training your brain and body for that experience. Athletes use this to rehearse perfect performances in their minds before a game. Musicians visualize playing every note flawlessly. Entrepreneurs picture closing high-stakes deals and launching impactful ideas. You can use the same mental technique to activate your subconscious quickly and effectively. To begin with visualization, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and allow your body to relax. The more relaxed you are, the more receptive your subconscious mind becomes. Begin to bring into your mental screen a specific scene related to your goal. If your goal is financial abundance, don't just imagine a vague concept of wealth. Picture yourself checking your bank account and seeing a large balance. Picture yourself traveling first class or investing in a new home. If your goal is health, see yourself running with energy, laughing with friends, or looking in the mirror with pride. What matters most is that you engage emotionally with the vision. Emotions are the glue that makes your mental images stick. When you visualize without emotion, the image quickly fades and has little impact. But when you feel joy, gratitude, excitement, or pride during the visualization, you are sending a clear message to your subconscious: this is important, this is real, and this is where I want to be. Your mind then begins to filter reality through the lens of that vision. You notice new opportunities, think more creatively, and act more decisively. This process isn't mystical, it's neurological. Make your visualization as vivid and detailed as possible. Think in high definition. Where are you? Who is with you? What are you wearing? What can you smell, touch, taste, and hear? The more vivid the imagery, the deeper the imprint on your subconscious. It also helps to visualize from a first-person perspective. Don't just watch yourself from outside like a movie. Step inside the image and see it through your own eyes. This creates a more immersive experience and engages your brain in a way that feels natural and personal. Another secret to powerful visualization is repetition. You can't do it once and expect magic. Your subconscious needs consistent exposure to the same vision to begin believing it. Daily visualization sessions, even 5 to 10 minutes, can create a powerful shift over time. When you repeat the same vision each day, your subconscious starts treating it as your dominant reality. That's when your behavior begins to change almost automatically. You start taking steps that align with the vision, often without even realizing it. You feel more motivated, more confident, and more open to success. It's also helpful to attach your visualization to a specific time or routine in your day. Morning visualization can set the tone for your entire day, helping you start focused and inspired. Evening visualization allows your mind to process the vision during sleep when the subconscious is most active. You can also pair visualization with meditation or breath work to deepen your state of mental relaxation and concentration. The more consistently you practice, the more effective it becomes. Some people find it helpful to create a mental movie of their ideal life. This is a sequence of visual scenes stitched together to represent the future you're working toward. You might see yourself waking up in your dream home, doing meaningful work, laughing with loved ones, receiving recognition, and living in flow. You can play this mental movie during meditation, before bed, or anytime you want to reconnect with your vision. Over time, the emotional imprint of this movie builds momentum in your subconscious, making the imagined life feel more and more like your natural destination. You can also amplify your visualization by combining it with affirmations. While you picture yourself living your desired future, repeat affirmations that match the experience. For example, if you're visualizing a healthy, energized version of yourself, you might repeat, "I am strong, vibrant, and full of life." This double-layered approach strengthens the belief and emotional resonance. You are not only seeing the new reality, you're declaring it with conviction. This creates a deeper pathway into the subconscious mind. It's worth noting that resistance may arise at first. Your current self-picture might contradict your desired vision. Doubt, fear, or unworthiness can surface. That's normal. The subconscious is not used to your new identity yet, so it may push back. The solution is not to fight the resistance, but to persist with your practice. Over time, the repeated vision will override the old programming, especially if you back it with strong emotion and belief. You are essentially teaching your subconscious a new story story, one that aligns with your highest goals. Visualization is not just wishful thinking or daydreaming. It is mental rehearsal for your future. When done correctly, it activates your subconscious mind quickly and powerfully, aligning your internal world with your external goals. You don't have to know how everything will unfold. Just hold the vision, believe in it, and take inspired actions when the opportunities appear. The subconscious will guide you. It will connect the dots. It will attract the people, ideas, and chances that support your vision. But first, it needs to see the picture clearly and feel the emotions deeply. Then, and only then, does it go to work for you. The subconscious mind thrives not only on thought and emotion, but also on action. When you combine belief with motion, you create momentum. That momentum tells your subconscious mind, this is real, this is happening. All the affirmations, visualization, and mental programming in the world will remain abstract unless you reinforce them with action. This is where many people struggle, not because they lack imagination or desire, but because they wait to feel fully confident, ready, or certain before doing something. But the truth is, inspired action is often the bridge between internal transformation and external manifestation. When you begin taking action, especially action that feels aligned with your inner vision, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. You believe in the reality you've imagined. That belief creates internal coherence between thought, feeling, and behavior. And when those three elements align, the subconscious mind starts reprogramming yourself in peace with remarkable speed. You become the person who does, not just the person who thinks or hopes. And doing is where your identity begins to shift permanently. Inspired action is not about force, stress, or hustle. It's not about trying to control every outcome or micromanage life. Rather, inspired action comes from a place of clarity, enthusiasm, and flow. It often begins as a subtle inner nudge, a gut feeling, a sudden idea, a gentle pull in a specific direction. It may not always make sense to your logical mind, but it feels right. And that feeling is often your subconscious mind communicating back to you, guiding you based on the new blueprint you've been feeding it through repetition, visualization, and belief. For example, if you've been visualizing yourself as a confident speaker, inspired action might look like signing up for a small public speaking workshop, even if it scares you. If you've been affirming abundance, inspired action could involve creating a new offer, reaching out to a potential client, or starting that side business you've been dreaming of. These actions may feel slightly uncomfortable because they challenge the old programming, but they also feel exciting, meaningful, and aligned with your vision. That's the sweet spot where transformation begins. You don't have to know every step or see the full path to act. In fact, you rarely will. The subconscious mind doesn't need a 10-year plan. It needs direction and faith. One step taken with courage and intention tells your mind, I trust the process. That trust deepens your mental programming because now you're not only imagining change, you're embodying it. Every small win reinforces your new identity. Every time you do what your old self might have avoided, your subconscious records that data and says, this is who we are now. One of the most important truths about action is that it creates feedback. When you act, you learn. You discover what works and what doesn't. You gain clarity, make adjustments, and build resilience. This feedback loop strengthens your internal map and empowers you to take even more aligned actions. What once felt impossible starts to feel natural. Over time, the gap between who you were and who you're becoming gets smaller and smaller. Action collapses that distance faster than thought alone ever could. There's also a psychological principle called cognitive dissonance that works in your favor when you act. This occurs when your actions conflict with your old beliefs, causing discomfort. The subconscious wants harmony between beliefs and behavior. So if you consistently behave like a successful, confident person, even if you don't fully believe it yet, your mind eventually updates your internal beliefs to match the new behavior. That's how transformation locks in. You act as if, and over time, you become. Of course, not every action will produce instant results, but it's not about getting results immediately. It's about building identity and momentum. Every time you show up for your vision, you cast a vote for the person you want to be. Every step reinforces the mental image you've been cultivating, and that repetition through both thought and deed is what activates the subconscious mind quickly and effectively. It says, I'm no longer just thinking this, I'm living it. Consistency in action is more valuable than intensity. You don't need to make huge leaps every day. Sometimes the most powerful action is small and quiet. Writing a paragraph in your journal, making a phone call, going for a walk to clear your mind, choosing to eat a healthy meal. These small, seemingly insignificant actions accumulate. They train your subconscious to expect progress and trust your direction. And when your subconscious believes progress is inevitable, it helps you maintain motivation and focus without needing to push so hard. Another benefit of taking inspired action is that it minimizes fear and doubt. Most fears live in the mind, not in the moment. When you avoid action, your mind creates exaggerated stories about what could go wrong. But when you act, even imperfectly, you dismantle those fears with experience. You realize you can handle far more than you thought. This builds confidence, which then feeds back into your subconscious and reinforces the belief that you're capable, resilient, and deserving of success. Surrounding yourself with people who support your inspired actions can also enhance your results. The subconscious mind is influenced by your environment. When you're in a space where action is normal, where people dream, build, and grow, you begin to normalize progress and possibility. Their energy reinforces your belief system and helps you maintain momentum when self-doubt tries to creep in. Your environment becomes a mirror of your internal shift. One practical technique is to keep a success journal or action log. Each day, write down one or two actions you took that aligned with your higher vision. This does two things. First, it trains your brain to look for and acknowledge your growth. Second, it creates a record of progress that proves to your subconscious that change is real and continuous. Even if external results are still forming, this record becomes a source of internal validation. You no longer need outside proof to believe in your potential. You have evidence from your own behavior. Ultimately, taking inspired action is the fastest way to move from dreaming to doing. It turns theory into practice. It transforms passive hope into active faith. It shows your subconscious mind that you are serious, committed, and ready to receive what you've been imagining. The mind responds to movement. It adapts to new rhythms. And the more often you step toward your vision, the more deeply your subconscious supports that direction, opening doors, generating ideas, and aligning opportunities to match your internal identity. So don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start with what you have, use what you know, trust what you feel, act, even if the steps seem small or uncertain. The path will reveal itself through movement. Your subconscious is already listening. Now let it respond to the sound of your footsteps.